He feels his way into a fight, Smith Jr. He's got a good reach on him, Smith. You can see that every single time he pops out that jab. Great intent. He does have a good reach on him. He does
very relaxed, very much in control, very calm in there. Mix and vary the speed and the power of shots.
It's a good lead left hand. Smith had those gloves up. Well, that's the problem that he's got at the moment. He's a tough guy, Joe Smith. He does like to bring it.
His feet, paint with his eyes, pouring little feints.
And certainly gave him a lot of it.
In Chicago, where he would have had huge Polish support. And he'll be, he's well aware of, and he certainly started the better here. Thinking about what Bivol said during the week that he could make super middleweight.
The work, I would say, in this opening round so far has come from Bivol.
More so than being hurt by anything. I mean, he's a pretty tough guy.
But he may have got a little piece of his man there. He certainly feels that there's cause for him to get...
What's happening with Joe Smith is he can't really get set.
He just moves in behind the guard, and Bivol looks to try and pick him off on his way in the hegemon.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be
standing in range or right on the
Bivol, but Bivol, good opening round from him.
These two made it very, very comfortably indeed. Later stage,
good chin, takes a great shot. I just think that I wasn't sure if it landed or not.
When he does step in to that lead left hook as he tried to there.
Yeah, well, I think that Smith's going to come out and look, trying to measure him with the jab. He's going to have to do this the hard way.
To and square there, Smith, and then just let go with the left. That far away, you don't really get a moment's peace, or you certainly don't ever feel like they can tip and tap a little bit at times, but then they really put some meat on the bone.
Joe Smith is so kind of preoccupied with his own defences that it's pulling out of range, and then Smith kind of getting caught in no man's land.
Hold of it. Frustration probably comes from the fact the fight warming up now. Bivol looking for right to the body there. Nice straight 1-2. Circle around each other in centre ring, moving straight in behind the right hand there, Smith. Almost like he felt.
But Bivol, technically the better fighter, the better feet. Looking at the two fighters here and brace for it's almost like you acclimatised to the power. But when you get hit with a nice solid left hook counter, then lovely 1-2 down the middle. Really thinking about attack, he's thinking about defence, and then when he does,
because he is within range to be hit, but actually catching him is a different matter. He's just looked to try and increase the tempo.
Bivol obviously talking during the week that he could get down to super middle.
Trying to get busy with the jab there.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, Bivol.
I wonder if it's been enough for him to win the round. Bivol, 20 or so seconds ago. Smith just trying to jab his way in, got caught on the inside there. The shot straight.
Prepared to take one, to land one. Bivol, who's
here, but he doesn't want to be too reckless, too gung-ho with it at the moment. Big overhand right there, didn't quite land, but he just steps in after it there.
Yeah, making Smith, luring him in, making him miss, but Bivol certainly looked like he wanted to grab hold of Smith momentarily. Little feints, and you're under a lot of pressure. Walks on him, good accuracy, doesn't waste anything, solid shots going. That he's been hurt with anything.
Bivol just
climbed a few low blows, put their heads in there, elbows if you have to, whatever he has to do, to win.
A different complexion to this now.
He's got to do this the hard way, as they say. He's got to make it a rough, tough, rugged affair. Have his most success. Lovely right hand there from Bivol, schooled. Jumping in with the lead left hook there.
Just been hit hard.
The most important thing when you get hit hard, hurt, buzzed.
To wait to see. I don't think that's going to emerge during the course of the fight, and I'm extravagant with it in recent rounds than he was towards the start of the fight, when he really did throw it hard. With a 10-rounder, and had another one tonight.
These are solid shots.
But these are punishing shots. Goes down to the body, and the Russian is looking to pour it on here. Smith trying to answer back with a left hand. Smith just walking after his hands a bit there, but shot doesn't really realise the full extent of it, but I think Bivol there did.
Doesn't want to back up in straight lines though.
It could be a slight problem, but he's not showing any signs of it at the start of the...
Over the top, going very side on here, defence behind the
full WBA champion. Smith had a different route there to get out of the corner, but he didn't quite manage to take it. He has now. Left hand.
And a lovely walk him onto a right hand as well.
Bivol trying to time that jab.
That's it, Andy. You cannot afford to get caught in that no man's land. That's what they're trying to do. That he landed a solid shot and that it hurt Joe Smith. But Joe Smith,
much more success with that kind of tactic than he was having in the opening 3 rounds. Okay, it's not perfect. He's a New York State fighter from Long Island. It's where really he didn't have an answer to Bivol.
He really come back into the fight. Nice left hook there from Bivol though.
Smith again backs off himself, tries to get that guard in place.
Yeah, double jabbed his way out of the corner. In no man's land, as you call it, and that's exactly what it is, and that's where you don't want to be. If you're coming,
looking for that big overhand right.
Win a technical warfare. He's here, and it's a horrible injury. Happened to me a couple of times, and it totally affects him.
Back foot, that's what gives him such good mobility. Probably the thinking.
Yeah, without he's got a rock looking to feint, or he's looking to change the distance. Guy though, I think his head has cleared now. There were solid shots from Bivol, but he took them well. You know, get into a bit of a clinch. You don't want to, if you do come
too long. Good straight ball with the glove up. Able to protect himself.
Yeah, very difficult injury to cope with. It just really affects everything. Big left hook there for Bivol.
Has rocked him like he might be about to fold a touch there.
He's got to use his size. He's the bigger man. He's got to make this a physical fight. I know he's not necessarily an inside type of fighter, but he's got...
Sullivan Barrera can still saw out the full.
Yeah, Joe Smith doesn't want this to become left hook, but Joe Smith blocked it well. But yeah, he's a technician, Bivol. You know, he doesn't...
Inside, just trying to tuck up behind that shoulder there, Smith. Both of them just fencing with jabs.
Joe Smith, tough guy though. Joe Smith recovers very quickly. Bigger man, I'm a more physical man. I can lean on you, I can pull down, I can try.
Because he looked like he was on the way down, but what it did do was tie Bivol up. But there's
people's hearts all the time, not necessarily because, you know, Gennady Golovkin breaks hearts.
Has been beaten out of him.